So we are on to wine number 2, which I've matched towards not really actually your career. Normally the second wine is to career, but when I spoke to Leon Wheeler, who actually I got this wine and the next wine from, I always like to have a supermarket and then work with a wine merchant. Have you heard of Leon Wheeler?
No.
They're an amazing wine merchant. They've been around for 174 years.
Is it Lay and or Leon?
Lay and Wheeler.
Oh, I thought it was like Leon Wheeler, like, you know, go around to Leon and he sorts you out with a bottle. I know I haven't, but no. I don't know much about wine merchants. So.
Well, what's really cool about them is, you know, you don't have to be a member. You can buy a case or you can buy one bottle. They work with very classic producers, but also kind of like cutting edge ones. And I gave them a call because there's a lovely girl, Alice, who works there. I was like, look, I've got Giles Coren. He's kind of brilliant, but he's erasable. She's like, I know the perfect winemaker for him. So, and I also said that you love Pinot Noir, Grand Cru Burgundy. Sorry, that's not on, like, I don't have the budget for that yet.
No, it's fine.
So I was like, oh, and she's like, oh my gosh. And so instead of Grand Cru Burgundy, we are going to actually, I think in a blind tasting, this would stand up to amazing Burgundy. We're going to Austria. We're going to Burgenland, so like south of Austria, and actually near a part which practically borders onto Hungary. And we're going to Moric is the winery there. So that's the name there. So it looks like Moric, but actually it's pronounced Moritz. And Kirchberg is a single vineyard. So this is like his kind of top vineyard. And it's from Lutzmenberg. Why is that important? Well, it just basically means that super, super steep slopes, limestone. So hopefully you will get some lovely lifted perfume. And it's meant to be really elegant and fresh because it's made from the Blaufrankisch grape, which is one of like the 3 main kind of red grapes from Austria. And if you tried Blaufrankisch 10 years ago, it would all have been heavily oaked, 15% alcohol, 14% alcohol, and very rustic. This guy, Roland, who set up this winery, which is where you'd come in because he's brilliant but erasable, and he really pissed off Austria.
Erasable?
Erasable.
Oh, irascible.
Irascible.
Oh, no, I thought erasable, like you could rub him out.
Am I like, oh my God, I've been pronouncing that wrong my whole life.
Before you said to me, before that Giles Coren, he's really erasable. And, and that's like cancelable. That's like erasable. You just erase him. You just
I meant irascible.
I find irascible. Yeah, fine. Irascible is like
irascible.
That's how I pronounce it.
Oh my gosh, like
prickly and
oh my gosh, I'm just going to blame being half American because I must pronounce or say things differently a lot of the time. So
erasable is quite a stretch.
Erasable.
What other word has an ASC in the middle of it that would be ace? Irascible. I mean, it's
okay.
It could be irascible.
Irascible.
That would be. Anyway, now I know what we're talking about.
No.
You mean, well, fine.
Brilliant. But
so this guy's irascible as well.
That's it. Oh my gosh, I mean,
so he's a bit of a wanker.
He's a bit of a wanker. So he's
a bit of an arsehole.
He's a bit of an arsehole.
Fine.
And he basically grew up in a winemaking family, but he wanted to make his own wine. He funded his own winery by actually being a dealer at a casino, not a drug dealer, as in a croupier. And I also know that your sister, isn't she like a professional poker player?
Yeah.
Anyway, like that's also a tenuous casino link. But anyway, he's cool because he made his money in the casinos, set up his winery. I was like, I really want to champion this grape Blaufrankisch, which everyone, you know, they're all getting huge points and whatever in the local press because they're hugely oak. And he's like, actually, the old versions of Blaufrankisch is very much like Pinot Noir or Nebbiolo. So that's what he was very much trying to do. And when he started making these wines back in 2001, he was absolutely shat on by all of the Austrian press. He actually refused to have any of them visit. He was like, screw you guys, like I know what I'm doing.
It must be being shat on by the Austrian press must be grim. I bet they're really, das ist ein Scheißwein. Kann es nicht denken.
And it's like, but he really stuck to his guns and he's like, I don't like whatever. I know what I'm doing is right. And kind of from now 2001 when he started to now, I mean, I would say in the last 10 years, practically like most of the top Blaufrankisch, which is produced, is all done in this like very kind of like perfumed, elegant style. I mean, it's only 13% alcohol, which I like because it means I can drink more of it.
It's amazing that you think of 13 as only though.
Oh yeah, in today's climate change, this is nothing.
Really? Is climate change making wine stronger?
Yeah, because like when the grapes are more ripened, that will translate into higher sugar levels, which then when fermented translates into higher alcohol.
But can't they make them in such a way as to keep them down?
Well, this is the thing. So this guy, why he's so brilliant is he's like dealing with altitude, which helps because it means you have like exposure to the sun, but then it means very cool evenings. And also
like Swiss Pinot Noir is like that, which is really delicious.
Exactly. And like with this, what I love about it keeps changing. It's very mercurial. I like when I first smelled it, I was like getting violets. Now I'm kind of getting other kind of like peppery spice. So it's like a weird kind of Nebbiolo meets Northern Syrah kind of thing. But, and that again, it's from the high altitude. Also limestone gives it a bit of freshness too. But it means that you can allow the grapes to fully develop, and he can wait until October to now pick these grapes, as opposed to what lots of people are, because they're freaked out by climate change, they're picking earlier. But the problem with that is you might not get the fully ripeness of the grapes. So then the grape, will be losing some of the aromatic compounds, or it won't be fully formed. So this guy's like experimented with variety, always believed in could be really elegant and full of finesse. What do you think of it?
Horrible.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. I thought that was the only thing I could think of to say after you said this incredible list. No, it's delicious.
Well, no, it's more like
that's the arsehole response. That's what an arsehole does. He goes, it's horrible because he thinks it sounds funny at the end of a sentence.
Well, no, I mean, I just thought you love
great.
your Grand Cru Burgundy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Grand Cru Burgundy is like ridiculously expensive, and
no, I don't drink much of that.
No,
I don't know what she's going to buy. So ask me what I like.
And you love Pinot Noir, and I love Pinot Noir from Burgundy. But what I like, it's not cheap. It's about £58,
right?
But I think this is kind of the equivalent in terms of like aromatics, like perfume,
but it has a bit of grip.
But it has like a little bit of grip.
Yeah.
Coming from Austria, like, you think of the kind of Central European hearty dishes.
You're quite right. That would be the thing that would be very good with the smoked goose or shallot, which they use, the Gay Hussar, which is now closed and is now a Noble Rot. No, I like Noble Rot. But the Gay Hussar, which always had this smoked goose and shallot dish, which I call cholent because that's what my grandma from Czechoslovakia called it, which is a sort of beef brisket cooked overnight in beans and barley, and it's very fatty.
Yeah.
And then or you could do it with smoked goose breast. And this kind of thing.
Well, that's why I got like boar and venison sausage, because I kind of feel like
Have you alternated them on the plate here? Are they the dark one's venison and the pale one boar?
Yes. An audio.
Not very kosher, but so it's lucky that I know.
I did do my homework, not just from Wikipedia.
I'd have eaten it anyway just to be polite. Who knows? Yeah. I think there's nothing less kosher than a wild boar. It even makes pig look quite kosher, a wild boar. The massive, great, hairy thing that you have to shoot in a forest. That's
true, but it goes so well with the wine.
I think if a rabbi blessed it enough.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so you can imagine it go with all that rustic thing. So I thought,
no, that's absolutely delicious.